Mike, quite a few unsubstantiated claims by Donald Trump. I suppose he was speaking in front of people that very much share his point of view. But bring us up to speed on what this big, beautiful bill is all about, because there are many people, including the likes of Elon Musk and also the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget, who believe that this isn't going to be hugely successful. Nevertheless, Trump does. Tell us more.
Yes, indeed, and he hasn't got it out of the Senate yet. There are big stumbling blocks in the Senate. The parliamentarian, the senior legal Senate official, has ruled that some of the items in the bill will not pass the tax test. Therefore, they've got to be taken out of the bill if it's going to be passed, which will lead to greater discussion. But to get back to what we've just heard, which was certainly at times left everybody aghast, he was speaking about the bill from a prepared text. But what was confusing is that he would continually move off this text to throw out some gripes, something about interest rates, for example, lashing out once again at the Fed chairman, lashing out at his predecessor, Joe Biden, speaking about women in men's sports. There were all sorts of items that came out of his mouth as he was speaking purportedly about this bill. The one point he was talking about a truck driver from Missouri, which was part of the written script, and then all of a sudden goes back to, well, that is where the beautiful B-2s landed after flying for 37 hours. And by the way, their target was completely obliterated. He then goes back to the script. So this was something that was very, very difficult to follow, and also to check the immense amount of falsehoods that were told during those off-the-script comments. That would take me as long as it took him to speak, quite honestly. But the real point there is that he's attempting to get that bill through the Senate. And there are problems for him, and perhaps this is one of the reasons why he held this rather bizarre event, to try and bring pressure to bear on those in the Senate from his own party who are resisting some of the portions of this, what Donald Trump calls his big, beautiful bill.
Mike, you're right. It was indeed very convoluted at times, perhaps, arguably, incoherent as well. But look, let's try and tease some of the details out that we can perhaps shine a spotlight on. He did claim that if the bill doesn't pass, there will be a, quote, 68% tax increase. I mean, that's a pretty wild claim to make, isn't it? That basically, if his ideas don't fly, you're all going to be paying significantly more.
Well, that is like the Don kind of threatening everybody with extinction if they do not toe the line. That is, frankly, quite ridiculous. There would never be a 68% tax increase if this bill passes. He said as well about the bill that there would be no tax on Social Security. This would be a very important point. There would be no taxes on tips. That was one of his campaign promises. But amidst all of this, there is that ongoing discussion in the Senate, as there was in the House when it was narrowly passed, in a slightly different version, though, about where his grandiose ideas are going to be funded from. If you slash taxes, he's talking about slashing the average person's annual taxes by some 15%. Now, this is a huge figure in terms of actual tax reduction. Now, those who are reluctant to pass this bill see it as actually rooted in unreality. And what they see as well, even somebody like Elon Musk, as you mentioned, that great supporter, one-time supporter of Donald Trump, was never a supporter of this bill because he argued very strongly that it was going to increase the U.S. debt by trillions of dollars over the next decade, that it was not self-supportive because the books just didn't balance, according to Elon Musk. And that is what some of Trump's own party members are deeply concerned about the reality of what is made in these promises made, promises kept, as Donald Trump mentioned there. So it is a major issue. And remembering as well is that Donald Trump was insistent that he wanted to sign this bill by July the 4th, Independence Day. Well, given what's been happening in the Senate in recent hours, that appears to be very, very unlikely because there is still massive wrangling going on in the Senate. Democrats to a person are completely opposed to this bill. So they have got to get every single Republican vote, and there are still Republicans holding out who are not going to vote in favour of this bill as it stands at present.
And just to remind our viewers what Elon Musk said about this bill, Mike, he called it this massive, outrageous, pork-filled congressional spending bill that is a disgusting abomination. Make of that what you will. Mike Hanna, many thanks for that. Mike Hanna there in Washington, D.C.